Hey guys, it's me Narelle here and welcome back to a new video. This video is going to be a little bit different because it's actually a new Q&A. I haven't done a Q&A in like 3 to 4 years and I've been seeing people do these every now and again and I'm like, oh my gosh, I want to do another one, but then I'm like, you know what, I'm just going to wait until people stop doing them. So now is the time. So I asked you guys here on YouTube and then I went on Instagram to provide me with questions, and like always, Instagram was popping and I got pretty much all the rest of my questions from Instagram. So thank you all of you guys who asked me questions, and it's a lot. So I made sure to actually write all the questions in a notepad and pre-answer them, so when I actually read the question and an answer, I kind of know where to go from. So I'm just going to get started with it because I recorded my audio separate from the video so I could time it better. So the less time I talk, the better. So getting on with the first question, and it's asked by the user Cat Selects Draws, and I'm not really going to specify gender. If I know the person's gender, I would say the gender, but I won't say it because this is the 21st century and I shouldn't assume what people identify themselves as. So yes. So they asked, who is your favorite OC to draw? And obviously I've said this in a lot of my videos. My favorite OC to draw is my OC Akise. A lot of you guys hate him right now. So you really don't see him as much anymore. So Akise still is my favorite character to draw. So thank you so much for your question. So the next questions is asked by my lovely Babu, Puddin' Roll, and she asked a lot of questions, so I'm getting ready. So her first question is, what is your anime husbandos and waifus? Now, this list has been updated a little bit, but as for my husbandos, it's Anzai from Devil's Line, which I just saw and I highly recommend because oof, that anime was good. Obviously Aomine from Kuroko no Basket, Hiruma from Aisho 21, Suo from Decay Project, and last but not least, the Rooster Babe, Kuro from Haikyuu. And as for my waifus, I kind of thought about it and I'm like, wow, I don't really have a lot of waifus. I just like a lot of girlies and animes, but if I had to define who's my waifus, it would be Etna from Disgaea, because Disgaea is my favorite game series of all time, and Sayako Tanaka, which is the sister of Tanaka and Haikyuu, because she is wife material. I freaking love her. So that's it for her first question. Her second question is, what made you want to start selling your artwork? And my answer to that is that I love art. I love drawing. I love posting it on Instagram and seeing what people's responses is. So I wanted to do that. I wanted to do the same as a shop. I just wanted to put out my crafts, in which I love a lot, and hopefully people will attract and buy the stuff and love the stuff that I put a lot of time and care into it and love it as just as much as I do. So it just makes me happy seeing the love that you guys show me. So that was one of my main motivations to starting a shop. Alright, so another question that kind of correlates to that one is, any advice to or for those wanting to start a shop? I absolutely would say just to go for it. Just go for it and have fun. Though you need to think realistically of, hey, what if this doesn't do well? What if that doesn't do well? What if I'm designing isn't going to be sellable, quote unquote, like the realistic terms? But if you kind of throw that away, like, just have fun, create a lot of products and just see where your mind takes you, because yes, like I said, reality hits, but you shouldn't let that stop yourself from starting a shop. So yes, go ahead, have fun, and just share your crafts with the world, whether it's art, jewelry, whatever that you make, share it, and I'm pretty sure sure people will flock to you just as much as they do now. So that is it for her questions. So thank you so much, Just Put in Roll. Alrighty, so the next set of questions come from my friend Blue Green Fishy, and the first question that they asked was, what is the hardest part of making YouTube videos for you? For me, it's the motivation just to set up a video. That's the hardest, and also the upload time, because guys, I apparently have internet speed that still is stuck in the 1980s, and it takes forever for me to upload a video. So that honestly would have to be my biggest flaw in making a video. The next question is, what is your favorite part about making videos? I like what people hate doing. I love the editing part because I love taking out things, adding things, putting music, putting this, putting that, and then seeing the final product just makes me tingle inside. So most definitely editing is my favorite part about making videos. So the next question is, any advice for someone who wants to start making YouTube videos? Honestly, I would high-key recommend just start at your own pace, which is most definitely important. I know a lot of people's videos are very high quality, they have the best equipment, they do this, they have a schedule, they have all of this stuff, and it kind of disleads you a little bit to make you think, hey, maybe my channel would do better if I had X, Y, and Z like they do. So I high-key would be like, no, like, don't pay attention to that. Just start at your own pace and upload what you like, hunty. Do not upload just because you see other type of videos that are doing very well because it's this certain thing. So A, go at your own pace, and B, upload what you want because it's your channel at the end of the day. So, yeah. The next question is, what's something you really want to make for your store? I would have to say sticker sheets and charms, which I did, but they flopped. But honestly, things that actually do well, because apparently what I like doesn't do well, but at the same time, I just really want to make originals, and Etsy is kind of like a website that doesn't really accept original art. I mean, you could put it on there, but it won't do as well as fan art. So I just kind of wish I could get more original stuff in there to sell, so that would have to be the top two. Plus, I just don't have the motivation to create a sticker sheet or charms, but I would love to get to that area for my shop. So the next question is, how do you motivate yourself to draw/finish drawing something? So drawing wise, I mainly just listen to music, or I just get main inspiration from shows, dramas, movies, whatever I'm watching. I easily get inspiration from that, or I'll just be like, hey, it would be cool to draw Aiko in this, draw her doing this, whatever. So it just comes randomly sometimes, but if I have to say what inspires me the most is music and what I'm watching that day. So yeah, and finishing art-wise, a lot of the times, like 99% of the times, I do admit that I do not want to finish certain art pieces because I'm just like, it's a drag. Quote from Shikamaru from Naruto, it really is a drag, but then I have to think about it, look, how would it look finished? Like, yes, I have to spend 50 more hours on it, but I'm pretty sure it'll look really cute finished at the end of the day. So I think that kind of helps me motivate myself to finish a piece, and yeah, I think that's it. So yeah. What's been the hardest part of running your shop? I think the hardest part is just the reality of things. At first you're like, yay, I'm uploading my products and I hope people will buy them, and it just sometimes you're just like, man, I wasted like $1,000 on something and it never even sold once, and that's really a letdown. And it's just, again, the reality of, hey, you may have liked making that product, but you just hope people will like it, but then again, like I'm repeating myself, they just don't like it as much as you did, so you're stuck with a lot of stuff, you know? So I think that kind of hurts a little bit, and just thinking about how to price your items and seeing if you do make profit or you don't make profit. I just think overall the reality of running a store is what hurts the most. So yeah. So the next question is, what is your favorite anime of all time? And I've said this a lot. My favorite anime of all time is The Pet Girl of Sakura. So I know that I got a notification on my phone, but yeah, so that anime is my top favorite of all time. I love it. It's so inspirational. It's so relatable, and I just hope and pray and recommend that you guys all see it. It's such a good show. Again, it's not really known around the globe, but if you haven't seen it, I high-key recommend it. It's a really good anime, and it is very much so enjoyable. So yeah, The Pet Girl of Sakura. So, and that is it for all of their questions. So thank you, Blue Green Fishy. So the next question is asked by my friendo. Insane Destruction, but she also goes by aesthetics art, like art aesthetics. So yeah, so her question is, please tell me more about your blue dread boyo. And I recently uploaded a drawing on Instagram. By the time I'm recording this, of my character Zyke with his girlfriend Lola, and she fell in love with Zyke. So honestly, I don't really have a lot about him because I just designed him and kind of put him together little by little. So all I really can say is that his name is Zyke. And his personality is very carefree, very happy-go-lucky, and he's one of those people that can never get mad, that no matter how much you try to get him mad, it takes a lot to get him mad, but overall, he's just a very happy person, and he's very carefree, and yeah, I actually think that's pretty much it for what I have right now. And his clothing style really reminded me of a hippie. And I'm like, please don't let him be a hippie, because I have him with tie-dye, peace sign. And I'm like, yeah, no, he's not a hippie. I just thought that little fashion design and all that stuff fit him the most. But yeah, so that's all I have. I don't really have any defined information on him other than, hey, A, his name is Zyke, B, he's a very happy-go-lucky person who takes a lot to get mad, and he has a girlfriend named Lola. So yeah, so the next question comes from my friend The Real Phil, and he asks, what anime surprised you the most? And honestly, I would have to say the anime Psycho-Pass, because I actually have this thinking that I'm only interested in certain types of anime that appeal to me. And if you guys have never seen Psycho-Pass, it's like a crime show, CSI, all of that stuff, but in a neat futuristic, I wouldn't say it's futuristic, but it has some futuristic qualities, and it has very interesting things. And to me personally, I'm not into crime shows and all that good stuff. So actually, I heard that it was really good based off YouTube, and I'm like, hey, let me check it out. And I do admit, the first 2 episodes of Psycho-Pass really did bore me, but after I kind of caught up with what was going on, I'm like, man, this anime is really good, and I have to catch up on it because I haven't seen all the newer releases of it. But I high-key would recommend Psycho-Pass if you're into like mystery crime shows with like a very deep meaning. I would have to say Psycho-Pass for sure. So the next set of questions is asked by KM Allah, and they ask, have you ever designed your own video game? And if you guys don't know, I have a associate's degree in information technology, simulation, and game design, which is a pretty much video game based degree. So hello. And yeah, I did make in total personalized 2 games, but I did make other games with groups. But yeah, I made made my own video game. My first one that I did personally is called Lost and Found, which is actually made through other games we actually made as like little homework assignments. I used all of that to make that game, and pretty much is a Pokemon fan game where I take the main girl you can play with from the game, and you go through different levels and trials and tribulations to find the boy you play in the Pokemon game. It's very cringy. I still have it, and I did the artwork for it, and overall it's a cute game when I did it, but now I'm just like, Narelle, what is wrong with you? So yeah, so that was my first game. And then I have another game, which is a visual novel game, which I cannot remember the name of to save my freaking life. But the two main characters were Irui and Amu, I think. My friend, Sweaty Socks, she did fan art of my character Irui, and I put it in the actual game, so that's pretty dope. But yeah, so that was my actual major game that I did, which was my visual novel game, which was very much so easier done than said, because I had to download a little visual novel simulator and all that stuff to get it done. But overall, it's a good game. Again, I cringe at it now, but after all the work I put into it, it's not as bad as I thought it was. So yeah, I did make a lot of games, just two personally. So her next question is, I'm sorry. So their next question is, what non-K-pop music do you listen to? And I kind of find this funny because since I rave about BTS all the time, a lot of you guys are like, shut up, Narelle, about your K-pop. And I'm like, okay, I'll shut up. But what non-K-pop music I listen to is everything. I listen to a lot of music, guys. I listen to English music. I listen to Korean, obviously, Japanese, Taiwanese, Filipino, Chinese, whatever language there is, I listen to all language music. So my tastes are very like broadened. It's just that I talk about BTS more than all the other stuff, but I really do have a lot of other interests besides K-pop. So I listen to everything. It's just K-pop is what I'm raving about right now. So their next question is, do you read books? I do not read books. Books put me to sleep, but if manga counts as a book, which is a comic book, I do read books. I own like over 50 manga books, so apparently I have a lot of books to read. So yeah, I read books. I wouldn't collect books if I didn't read them, but they're comics, so that makes a difference. They have pictures that stimulate my eyes, but yeah, I do read books. Comic books. So their last question is, what is your favorite drawing artist and singing artist? And they, oh my gosh, my mind is going. So their question for this ties into my friend Unico, because that's the same as that question, so I'll just repeat it twice. So my favorite drawing artist, I really freaking love Sweet Ishida, which is the artist of Tokyo Ghoul. I really love his art style. I love the messiness and all that stuff that's about his art style. It's one of my favorite art styles that I freaking love. I own the art book of Tokyo Ghoul, and I can look at it all day. I freaking love Sweet Ishida. I love Yusuke Nakamura. I recently got his art book, which you'll see in a vlog that should have been up a month ago, but I got his art book that I spent quite a lot of money on, but I love that man's art. He does a lot of the art for Asian Kung Fu Generation. If you saw The Night is Short, So Walk On Girl, he did the title art for that as well, and his art is just, oof, my gosh, I love it. And another artist that I really love, who is on Instagram and DeviantArt and all that stuff, her name is Pencil Butter. I love her art. I'm gonna shout her out to the earth and back. I love her art. I've commissioned her almost 15 times. That's how you know I freaking love her art. If I could commission someone like almost 20 times, I love them. And I recently commissioned her again of my characters Micah and Ari, so I'm like sitting over here waiting to see what it looks like. But Pencil Butter has my most likes in the art realm, and I love all of my friends' artwork. I just tried to pick other people besides my friends because I love all of you guys' artwork, but if I had to be specific of people that I want to recommend, those would be the three people. And they asked singers as well. So I had a lot of trouble with this one because I listen to a lot of bands. I don't listen to solo artists as much, but if I had to boil it down, I will most definitely have to say Porter Robinson. I live for his stuff. His new album I must get because it's beautiful. All of the songs in which I have heard are beautiful. So Porter Robinson is up there. Sam Smith, I've been listening to a lot of his older tracks. I love him. He's great. The Korean singer and rapper, I should say, Zico. Zico was a part of Block B, and his solo work is like, oh my gosh, I love Zico, so I recommend him. And also Z Tao, which is a Chinese singer who was in EXO-M, but he left, and I became a huge fan of his music after I saw his drama. Oh my gosh, why did it like escape my mind? The Brightest Star in the Sky. After I saw that drama, I was sold to Z Tao's music. So yeah, that is it for all of their questions. I'm gonna have to go back a little bit to get to Unico's because I wrote it before all the other ones. So her first question is, again, who are some of your favorite artists or inspirations? So for artists, again, Yusuke Nakamura, Sweet Ishida, and Pencil Butter. And inspiration wise, like, I only have one main inspiration, like music and stuff, obviously, but the main inspiration to my art side would have to be this mangaka that I raved about a while ago. Her name is Mayu Shinjo. I live for her. I loved all of her comics. I read all of her mangas like 10 times over, and something about her stories really captivated me, and all of her men are just gorgeous. So I'm like, I must draw men equally hot to Mayu Shinjo's men because they were hot guys. So she was my main inspiration in my life, and she actually came to an anime convention where I live, but I wasn't able to go see her because I wasn't old enough to go, and plus me and my sister didn't know about it back then, so I guess it's my loss. But yeah, she's one of my main inspirations to this day for my artwork, so thank you, Mayu Shinjo, you're the best. So her next question is okay, what type of music do you listen to the most and favorite songs? So I listen to everything. Like I said, my taste is like broad, and I listen to everything pretty much, but my favorite music to listen to right now, I live for instrumental tracks like piano, guitar. I have a thing for instrumental tracks lately, and I listen to them over the actual studio versions. Is that weird to say? Like, I live for instrumental tracks. So if you guys do not listen to instrumental tracks, you're missing a lot of life that you could be living. I play a lot of it in my live stream because, you know, I tend to get off the walls when I have someone singing because I like to sing along. And then I realize, guys, I'm live in front of like 5 people. I can't sing to save my life. So that's why I have on instrumental tracks. So, you know, I can easily draw and keep drawing while knowing what the song is. So yeah, instrumental tracks are like my thing now. And favorite songs, I think that's what the question was. Favorite songs? Yeah, favorite songs. So favorite songs at the moment. So number 1 would have to be Porter Robinson, Look at the Sky. It's so beautiful. All of his newer songs are just all my favorite songs. So mostly Porter Robinson's new tracks that he's released so far. I've been a fan of this band called Cult. It's spelled Civility, Cvlte, but it's pronounced Cult. And I'm living for all of their songs, but the song that got me into them was Falling Apart, which is amazing. Another group, I guess what they're called, that I fell in love with their song after I watched the BL drama Theory of Love. And it's the main track, and it's by the group Getsu Nova, and the song is Fake Protagonist. I highly recommend listening to both of it. So it's the Taiwanese version and the English version. The English version will make you cry, so you're warned. And then obviously, I'm a huge fan of the BL drama, Together, but I love the Still Together main song, which is Yang Kun Gun, which is beautiful. So I'll high-key recommend all of those songs and all of those artists that I gave. Alright, so the next question is, who are your favorite YouTubers? I'm like in a weird YouTube phase where I just look at different YouTubers consistently and just kind of live for them. So the first two are react channels because I look at a lot of react videos. So I would have to say Reed reacts. They react to a lot of BTS, so obviously, Reed Reacts is cute. Another react channel I like to watch is Whatcha Got to Say. Again, they react to a lot of BTS stuff, which I live for, and other things. So those two react channels I live for. Another channel called The First Take, which is a channel that brings a lot of Japanese singers, some English singers, to come and perform their most hit songs all in one take, which is cool. So I love that channel. And then a studio vlogger in which I do look at other studio vloggers, but one of them that I watch consistently is Monkey Mintaka. I love her. Her personality is just golden. And those are like some of my favorite YouTubers as of now. And plus all of you guys. But if I had to spot 4 of them, those are my top 4. Okay, and the next one, which is the last one for her, is share 3 unusual / lesser known facts about yourself. And this one I got stumped on because I pretty much embarrass myself all on YouTube as well in live streams. So I had to think, what's some more unknown facts about me that hasn't been stated anywhere? So number 1, I love it when people like run their hands and scratch their hands in my hair. If you guys don't know, yeah, I'm black and our hair gets crinkled sometimes, and mainly my grandma used to, but my sister, she braids my hair whenever I get the chance to see her. And like, you have to admit, it feels good when people like pull their hands through your hair and it scratches your head. Like, it feels good. So that's one fact that I freaking like stand for. I'm not trying to make it seem like a weird thing, but I feel like a lot of you guys would feel me if you have the sensation of getting your hair done. So yeah, I live for dry cereal. I hate milk. I don't like milk. It makes me like gag. So I just like eating my cereal dry. So that's another fact. The third one stumped me. What other fact that I have that you guys don't know about myself? This is kind of weird. Oh my gosh, what can I think about? Is there anything else? I don't know. I really don't know, guys. I don't know. What's another one? Oh my gosh, Unico, you stumped me. You really did. What else? I might try to look around my room for things that, I'm trying to like see. I guess I could use this one. Unknown fact that I'm living for right now. I'm like living for like erotic manga. I read a lot of erotic manga lately. And I'm collecting a lot of erotic manga, not BL. I'm talking about the actual erotic stuff. I'm like getting really into erotic manga, and I don't know why. No, it's not because of the sexual things. It's like I'm living for the plots here. I'm living for the plots, and the guys are gorgeous. So that's a little eye candy. But yeah, I'm living most definitely for erotic manga right now. So I think those are some good facts that I can give to you guys about me. And the last set of questions, which is the last questions I'm answering by the time I'm recording this. If I get any more questions, I will put it in the description box below and answer them down there, so everything's all answered. But for right now, I don't have any more questions, so I'm going to end this video off of my questions I got from my friendo Restless Artist. Her question I really wanted to save for last because it's a good question to end the video off of. So her question is, what do you think is your greatest accomplishment and why or how did you reach it? And I feel like this is like the perfect way to end off this video. So if I had to give a non-realistic goal, my phone just shut off right now. I'm going to get you guys back up. I'm sorry. Okay, so if I had to pick a non-realistic goal, I would have to say, a while ago, I used to do a lot of Visual K fan art for artists and bands, and I did one for a singer from a group that I don't think is active anymore. His name is Yuji from the band The Rhetoric. Hopefully they're still active. I don't think they are because they haven't posted music in a while. I did a couple of fan arts for him, and he's retweeted all of them. He's very sweet. And then one of them I did on a live stream, and I'm like, he's totally not going to see this. And I think it was Brittany and JMI. They both were like, no, I'll share it. And I shared it on Twitter, and then I woke up the next day, and I'm like, let me see if he liked it. And I went to my notifications, and I saw my image as his profile picture. And I'm like, this has to be a glitch, because if you guys use Twitter glitches all the time. So I'm like, this has to be a glitch. So I actually refreshed his page like a million times, and legit, guys, my image was his profile picture for like 2 months. And I feel like that's a huge accomplishment, because even like if you're a fan with a non-native speaker or another race than you're like, they're really not gonna reach out as much. They're not gonna like comply as much, which is total false. They'll like it, but they can't comment because they don't know your language. But I just to see that my art reached his profile status, I was like, I feel good about myself. Even though that drawing is so cringy, I'm just like, I'm glad he liked it way back when. So yeah, and if I had to pick a realistic accomplishment, is that I've said this millions of times. I do have illness. I don't want to call it an illness because that makes me seem like I'm like sick for the rest of my life. But I do suffer from epilepsy, which is the conditions of seizures and all that stuff. And this year marks my 6th year of being free from it. So yeah, and how I reached the goal is that I got medicine that works for me, and it helps my episodes stop happening for 6 years. So I think that's a huge accomplishment for me personally. And I guess the biggest accomplishment is meeting you guys and getting all the bestest friends that I could have in my life, because I'm not lying, guys, I have like a couple of good friends in real life. I don't want to make it seem like I have no friends. I do have friends that I love dearly, but pretty much all of you guys are like my best friends, and I love all of you, and I say how much I love you, and I want to be like, guys, it's genuine. I just love all of you for accepting me, my sad self, for who I am, because it's harder to say this stuff in real life because you don't know how the people are going to react. But you know, on YouTube it's easier because you're behind a screen, you're recording yourself, so you're just like, I don't know, it's give and take here, but it's just nice seeing how much people love you and care for you and just want to talk to you. You know, it's just crazy, and it blows my mind all the time. But yeah, so that is all my answers to all of you guys' questions. There was a lot, so hopefully I answered all of your questions to my greatest ability. And just to end off this video, let's talk about the artwork in which I'm coloring. So a while ago for Valentine's Day, I made this drawing of my character Aiko because I haven't done a coloring page in a while, but once I did the line art, I'm like, this would be so dope as a coloring page. So I dedicated this drawing of Aiko as a coloring page for Valentine's Day. It's on my DeviantArt and Twitter. I will link it down below. So if you guys want to color Aiko in your own way, you don't have to stick to her colors. You can make her dark skin with black hair. You can just just click the link down below and color her to your heart's content. I'm actually thinking about making like a coloring book, like not official one, but seeing if I can make my own little coloring book for myself, because I have made about like 5 line art so far as coloring pages, so I want to see if it'll be super fun to get it printed and color it again, I guess. So yeah, so again, if you guys are interested in coloring Eichel, click down below, you'll find the line art. So yeah, that is it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. I was hoping I could get this video to be under 20 minutes, but I guess I talked for too long. So yeah, if you guys enjoyed this video, give it a like, comment down whatever you like to say to me in my comment box below. And yeah, I'll see you in the next video. Bye.